In this episode, I got the opportunity to chat with Suzanne Peters. Suzanne Peters is the CEO of Woman to Woman Academy, a business development company for women. Suzanne specializes in training ambitious women to leverage their story, life experiences, and knowledge to build their own profitable business so they can have the financial freedom they really want. As a young woman, Suzanne left her corporate job to begin her entrepreneurial journey. Unfortunately, Suzanne's business failed, leaving her bankrupt. She lost everything, became depressed and suicidal. But Suzanne had someone's story, and it inspired her not to give up. And since then, Suzanne has transformed her life completely, built a successful coaching and speaking business, and impacted the lives of thousands of women worldwide. Let us meet Suzanne Peters. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gaby U Show. So today I have an amazing guest, Suzanne Peters. Suzanne Peters, welcome to the Gaby U Show.
Hey, Gaby. I am so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so happy for you to be here to join us today, me and my audience today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suzanne in the house.
Yay. Yeah, we could get all wired up here now, right?
Right.
Yes. So, Susan, the first thing I want to ask you, this is my Gaby U special icebreaker question. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
Well, girl, first of all, you hear my accent, right? So you know I'm a Caribbean girl.
Yeah.
My favorite food is bus up shot. Gaby, you know bus up shot?
Bus up
Roti,
shot.
curry. Tell me you know roti.
Oh my goodness. Okay, break it down, girl.
Let me tell you about this dish. So roti skin is like a thin, light, soft, delicious, tasty bread, but it's not bread. It's really thin. If you didn't know any better and you hold it up, it would look like plastic because it's so thin and light, like tissue. But that is actually the bread, right?
Okay.
And curry potato, curry chana, curry mango, or anchar, chicken, good, curry duck. Okay, now I'm starting to feel hungry. It's a Caribbean. It's a Caribbean dish. At one point in time, I would have said I do not have a favorite dish. But lately, I have been craving some curry. So it's roti, bus up shot, the works. I just longing for that right now. As a matter of fact, 2 months ago, I went to Atlanta and I went by this Caribbean restaurant just to have that.
Oh, wow.
Gaby, when I tell you I eat, I probably put on 10 extra pounds in that one weekend. It was so
roti. So now you said this. I thought roti was more the Indian food because I know they do have that with the curry thing because, you know.
Don't judge me, okay? Because in my country, where I am originally from, Trinidad and Tobago, we have Africans and Indians here. So the Indians that are in my country, they came from India as indentured workers. So when those Indians came from India, they brought curry, the roti, everything with them. Yeah. So yes, it may originally be from India, but it's a part of my country as well.
Yeah. Okay. That's why you were waiting. So because when you said the roti, I was like, okay, is it the same roti I know of? Because
It
I have a lot of
is.
Indian friends, and I know in when we work in the hospital, we used to do the potluck, and I know they bring something like that, and I do go eat the foods because I love Indian foods too because they are very spicy. Nigerians, we love spicy food, so it's kind of
Mhm,
closer to
mhm.
spicy. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't use a lot of curry. I have curry all the time. You can't
Oh,
go.
shoot.
Yes, we gotta put curry on everything. So just like, so I guess you guys do that too, the Indian and of
Yeah.
course you now you're telling me you have the Indians that come to the country. So I
Yes.
see all the link there. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I was doing fine before I went to that restaurant, but since that, I have been craving this thing.
Wow, they use a charm on
Seriously.
you there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is, but putting all the stuff together, it sounds very delicious. And it's okay sometimes to indulge. Just don't gain 10 pounds.
But exactly because I mean it tastes good, but it's not one of the most healthiest
Mm-hmm.
meals,
Yes.
but it's so good.
So good. Yeah. I know you. Oh yeah. I could feel it. Mm. I'll be looking for one of these places.
Just don't send me any photos and I'm
Yes.
good.
It's like, hey,
Yeah.
Susan, here it is. And you'll be running to the restaurant to go get it too.
No, no,
Oh
no.
wow, that is awesome. All right. So the next thing I want to ask you, what is your favorite quote? I know we all have all these quotes, but there's a particular one we kind of hold on to. So I want you to share that with us.
Honestly, favorite quotes, so many coming to mind, but let me see if I can pick out one. Okay, the one I'm going to say is my favorite is one I use all the time, but usually when I'm telling my story.
Mm,
It's by Les Brown when he said, there is greatness inside of you.
mm,
There's greatness inside of you. Just that, whenever I feel down, I look at myself in the mirror and I remind myself, there is greatness inside of you. And I just say that over and
oh my
over and
goodness.
over. Now, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the most powerful and it's the one I use most often. So,
And I am taking that now too. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
that now. Say that to the mirror in the morning because there's some
every
days you
day.
wake up and or the day you just feel the day is not there's nothing good coming, like and sometimes we can get all these remember things we have done, like I was
Distractions.
sharing with you before we press record of how I am a multi-passionate person. I have 200 ideas of things I want to do, and sometimes I can feel down that, oh my goodness, I've done all this stuff, look at that, why am I still here?
Yeah,
Why am I still not getting those things I want? And this is a good
yeah.
one to say there is a how do you put it? There's greatness inside of
Greatness within you.
you. There's
Yeah.
greatness within you. So
When you say that to yourself, especially at the beginning of the day, it's as though it sets the pace for your day.
yeah, it is so powerful. I love it. I'm telling you. And you guys are noting that, write it down. If you're listening, write this one down. This is one you write on
Write it
your
down,
mirror,
guys.
on your wall. This is so good. This is a good one. Love
It's
it.
simple but powerful, right?
Yes, I'm
Simple
telling
but
you,
powerful.
it's yeah. And I'm gonna be adopting that from now today.
You're welcome.
All right. So the next thing I want you to share with me or share with us. I want you to break down on some of the things, or as much as you can, that you believe has shaped you to be this woman you are today. You see, from your victories, your struggles, motherhood, childhood, career. The floor is yours. Just give it us. Give it us. Give it all.
Sure you want that, girl? You sure
Yeah.
you want
I don't know about this, but yeah.
that? All right, let me give you the main thing because I mean, as individuals, we go through a lot, and I myself have been through a lot. From my previous marriage was an abusive, I had an abusive husband, from my bankruptcy to a lot, depression, a lot, right? But the one thing that stands out that I believe is the reason I am the person I am today is because of all the bad things I went through. So I don't know about you, but when you were younger, I never used to say I want to be an accounts executive. I want to work in an assurance company. I didn't used to say anything like that. But I found myself in a good job. I can't complain when that part is concerned. In a good job as an accounts officer in one of the largest insurance companies in my country, Trinidad and Tobago. And I hated it. I hated my job. Seriously, I can't even tell you how much I hated my job. It was so boring. And all my life throughout school, I had studied accounting. So it only made sense for me to get a job in accounting, right?
That's right.
But anyway, I decided I am going to leave this job and go start my own business. So I did that. Unfortunately, I didn't know anything about managing a business or employees. So eventually, my business failed. I literally lost everything. Not only that, I lost my money and other people's money, and that is not a happy place to be. But for me, the last straw was when I came home one day and there was an eviction notice on my door. Now, I can still remember going into my apartment and just collapsing on the floor because I didn't know what I was going to do. And I don't know if you do this, Gaby, or maybe you used to do this when you were younger, like me. Whenever I got down, I would take out my phone, I would go on YouTube and play some really depressing music. And even though it didn't make me feel any better, I did it anyway, right?
Yeah. I know
so
that.
I can remember you used to do that too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a good thing we know better now.
Yeah.
So yeah. I can remember my phone, I connected it to my neighbor's Wi-Fi and I was listening to the music and it kept going in and out. So that only made me feel worse. But I got this bright idea that I was going to take my life. I said, you know what? I'm tired of being stressed, tired of feeling like a failure. I just wanted out. So I decided I'm just going to end it tonight. So I got up and I started to search my apartment looking for pills because that's one thing I know I always had. But for some reason that night, I couldn't find any. So I came back and I sat back down on the floor and I'm studying. What is the best way for me to take my life? So then I remember I had a bottle of bleach. And I have heard that if you ingest that, it can kill you. So the only reason I didn't go right away and pick that up is because I was trying to figure out if the bleach would kill me or if it would only hurt me. Because if it only hurt me, then I would still have to live with the additional embarrassment of people knowing I tried to take my life. And that would have been too much. So I was just sitting there, what is the best way to take my life? What should I do? Like seriously, deep in thought. And that's when I heard a man's voice say, there is greatness within you.
Wow.
Just like that. Now, the funny thing is, my phone reconnected to my neighbor's Wi-Fi. YouTube came back up, but for some reason, there was Les Brown, there is greatness within you. Now, I started to laugh. Like seriously, picture me already frustrated, sitting on the cold white tiles on my bedroom floor. And now I am laughing so loud, you would have sworn someone was tickling me. Seriously. But then that laughter soon turned into tears. And I sat there and I cried and I cried. I screamed actually.
Wow.
But that was the distraction I needed. Instead of trying to figure out the best way to take my life, I found myself listening to people's stories, people who I never met, some of whom I never will ever meet. And I sat there, wow, this is amazing. These people are literally transforming their life. They are coming back from the brink. They're doing so much. I wonder if I can do that. So the question was no longer, how should I take my life? It was now, how can I change my reality? That is how my journey started, because by the next morning, I was now committed to finding a way to transform my life. I can remember getting down on my knees and just saying, Lord, thank you. Thank you for not allowing me to take my life. So I committed and promised to myself, and I made that promise to God, that I would figure things out. And when I did figure it out, I wouldn't keep it to myself. I would share it with others, just like those people, stories that I was listening to inspired me. I decided I would use my own story to inspire others. From the day I made that decision, in less than 1 year, let me tell you how God works. When I made that decision, I still had some trials to go through. I wasn't any clear yet, but I had to stay committed to the promise I made. I still lost my vehicle. I was still evicted from my apartment. Vehicle furniture was still repossessed. I found myself sleeping on a family member's couch because I had nowhere to go. I had to literally start over from scratch. But in less than 1 year, I was living a completely different life, transformed my life completely, speaking on stages, bought my own house, like literally living a completely different life, because I decided I wasn't going to give in. I decided I was going to push forward, figure it out, find a way, and make it happen. Now, I love sharing my story. So thank you so much for asking that, Gaby. That is what made me the person I am today and got me started on this journey.
Oh my, that is so amazing. You see, this is this is the reason one of the things me share, starting this my podcast, to hear people like you share your story and give hope to women out there, and I'm definitely sure that there are many people that can relate to this. And I know before we pressed record, I was telling you some things that I could relate to, what you went through. And I mean, I didn't think of taking on my life, but there are some certain things, you go through different things in your life, and you come to this commitment that, I don't, like what you said in your story, that it is not now taking your life, but now how to transform it. And this is the thing that I've always said in my podcast, that where there is life, there is hope.
Yes.
And so amazing that you are alive today, and the lives of women you are impacting, and now using that, your pain, into a message. And this is where I come to say this now, using the lemons, changing it to sweet lemonade. We have come to this part, because each time in any of my podcasts, it comes a time when we say that, and this is the time, changing, transforming the lemons into sweet lemonade, not just lemonade, because some lemonades are sour. But
yes, very.
So yeah, this is so, so I think what I want to ask you from this, that when you went through this struggle, you are in this, going through this, where you, I mean, how did your family, they, of course, did they know about this? What reaction did you get? Did you, I mean, like, sharing it with your family, what you wanted to do? I know you talk about about marriage. How did that all come in place in there?
My previous marriage?
Yeah, like in between these times when you were going through this.
My previous marriage, I had gotten out of prior to leaving my job.
Okay.
So I think all of that was a part of why I needed a fresh start.
Yes.
Yeah, because at that point in time, even though I was no longer in that abusive relationship, I still hated everything. So
Yeah.
I needed a fresh start. But the fresh start I needed really wasn't to just leave my good job and go start a business.
Yes.
I just made the wrong decision there.
Mm.
But outside of that, so going through all of this, I was single.
Okay.
I was single, lonely, depressed, you name it.
Mm.
But my family they were supportive.
Mm.
They tried their best to show me that they loved me, that they cared about me. But me being the eldest of four girls,
Yes.
I was just embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. And that's kind of hard to do when you have to move back in with family, right? But I can remember this time, my baby sister, because I was broke, like broke. My baby sister, she had just started a new job. And she came home one day and she's like, I got paid. I'm so excited. And she came and she handed me $100. And I was like, what is this for? I thought she was asking me to do something for her. I was like, okay, what is this for? And she, nothing, that is for you. I was like, why? She's like, come on. When things was good with you, you always used to give me stuff. So why can't I give you something now? I started to cry. Seriously. Because she had I had no money. None. But she didn't know that.
Oh.
So that made me feel so good. Not only that my sister showed me that she loved me and cared about me, it made me feel good also because I am the eldest. And I set a good example. And even up to today, all my sisters and I, we are very close. So I give myself
like I'm doing something right.
A pat on the back for that because throughout my years growing up, everything for me was okay, no, I can't do this. I can't go there. I can't say this because my sisters were always with me and everything I do, they would do. Everything I say, they would say. But because I showed them love,
yes,
they were now showing me love. And I realized, okay, so I have no reason to feel embarrassed. But it took me a while to get to that point. But yeah, they were just loving on me.
And you are all here, and even though the mistakes of what you did, or feeling like you have disappointed them, they still look up to you. And this is one thing that's in life. When we talk about things about comparison, that we are here comparing about what other people are doing. And sometimes we are here looking like, oh, this person is doing so, I wish. And that other person is wishing that, they have this thing too. And it's like, and for you being the big sister, you are feeling like you have, not put your part, and you didn't even know all these years when you had things going good, that they were learning all this stuff from you, and and seeing that, okay, I am useful, because I'm sure at that time you were probably feeling very low, that I can't even do anything, look at me.
Didn't contribute to anything.
Yes.
I couldn't do anything. And it wasn't a good feeling. It wasn't a good feeling, but yeah. But I realized now I needed to go through that to get to where I am today.
Yeah. Those were the stepping stones. And there's another thing they will say, you have to go, I don't know if I will say it right, hit the bottom before now getting to the top. hit rock bottom.
True. Yeah, you had to hit the bottom in order to get to the top. And that's one of the reasons I believe life doesn't happen to us, it happens for us. But when you're in the midst of things, you don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Every day it's just like, why me? Why me? Why me? Why I have to go through this, you know? But then when you make it through to the other side, you understand why it was needed.
Yes, because you'd be like, if that did not happen, where would I be? What would I be doing? You know? And I know that time, you probably, of course, you cannot see it, but when you start looking at all the years now that what you are doing, it has been building you to where you are now. So there's always a lesson to learn in each situation. It's when we fail not to see the lesson, we might end up doing more mistakes again, but there's always a lesson to learn, be it good or bad, especially the bad ones. Sometimes we can be so down and depressed and feel like there's nothing to learn. I just suffered. It's like, well, there's a lesson to learn. It creates resilience, too, and pushes you to reset and see what other way you can do stuff. And I think this is where people sometimes are scared into venturing in different things because they always see that they are going to fail and they never start. But the thing is that if we don't start to do something, how would we know it will work? How would we know how to readjust? We gotta start. Yeah.
Exactly. Because it's while in the midst of all that was going on with me that I actually started to work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I literally took a head dive into the world of personal development and just went all in on working on me. And because I think when you look at it, it's like everything had to be taken away from me to get me to sit still and focus on becoming the person I wanted to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. You'll be like, and that's the thing with these situations like this is like, I don't want to be in that situation anymore. So I need to find a way to make it better. Like I did not like how those things happened. I did not like that feeling. I did not like that. So there has to be a way to turn this around to make it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So can you imagine going from someone living on your own, having your own place, having your own vehicle, having your own business, because the business I had it for 2 years and some change, less than 3 years. And then you lose everything. Everything is gone. You now have to find a way to start over. You don't even want to go where people know you, but you still have to find a way to start over. I went and worked in a fast food restaurant just to make some money.
Yes. To fund your future, your dreams again.
Yeah. So I literally started over. Yeah.
It's like the person that got all this degree to be a big person accountant and now going to fast food is like, that's those are things that create so much resilience. And but of course when you are working in that fast food restaurant, you are already in that journey of knowing that this is just a means to get me out.
Yeah, because in my mind, my mindset wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Now I knew what I wanted and I was trying to figure out how to get to it.
Yes.
Yeah. So my mindset wasn't the same, but on the outside, it was the same person. But everything up here had already started changing.
Yes. It's like, well, this is just temporary, just to get me back some to fund my dreams.
I know, right?
Oh wow, that is so amazing. Perfect. Yeah. So what would you say you are most proud as a woman today?
Okay, how much time do you have?
I got time for you.
Okay, so, let me see. let me see if I can give you 3. I am proud to say that I have been relentlessly accomplishing my goals over the past couple of years. And this year is no different. It's so exciting to know that when I measure, even in my business, when I measure where I am this year compared to where I was last year, I'm blown away. I am so proud of my business. But I'm also proud of my relationship I have with my husband. I don't know. God is so funny. Let me tell you what he do, right? I have to sit up for this one. Now, I was already in one bad relationship, previous marriage, abusive husband. Now, this is what God did. When I decided to follow my passion and went all in, that's when I created my brand, Woman to Woman. And even though I had so much going on that I was working on fixing my life, I was still following my passion on the side. My passion led me to my husband, who was my biggest fan online. And we are now, I think this year will be our 50th anniversary, happily married. My husband is literally the male version of me. It's like I have a best friend. Sometimes I told him the other day, I said, sometimes I forget you are my husband. He's like, what you mean? I'm like, I feel like we're buddies, He's like, but that's good, right? I'm like, yeah, of course that's good. It's just so amazing that you can be that comfortable and happy and in love and everything all at the same time. So that is like one of my biggest things. That should have been my number one, though, right? But the next thing is to know that the work I am doing is finally being recognized. Now, I know I mentioned this to you already off camera. I have to tell you, okay? I have to tell the audience what happened this weekend.
Of course. Yes.
So I traveled to Washington, D.C. this weekend to receive an award. I received the EPSI Award for Excellence in Professional Speaking from NAPSAC, which is the National Association of Professional Speakers, Authors, and Coaches. Yeah. And it was an honor. I got to dress up in my lovely gown. I got to give my acceptance speech.
Like an Oscar.
So many amazing people. Yeah, it was. Actually, it's a company that makes the Oscars, the Grammys.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. Just
okay. For those of you that are listening to the audio, you need to go watch it on the YouTube so you can see the video of her award. Oh my. I love that. It's like a mic. Oh my.
Yeah, it's a mic.
Yeah.
It's the same company that makes the Grammy Awards that designed this.
Oh
so,
my.
Yeah. So that's number 3. But I am just loving my journey so far. And because I am committed, and a big thing for me is to make sure that no matter what, I am not doing things for show, but I'm always trying to be a better person every single day. Yeah. So I know as long as in every area of my life, as long as I know I'm striving to be better, to be good to others, and also good to myself, I know I'm definitely going to keep soaring. So yeah, this is exciting. Yeah.
That is so amazing. God knows your heart, that what you try, what the goodness of your heart, and it's going to help you through with this. And this is what is showing you, that you out there with an open mind, trying to help as many people that want to be helped. And I have to say that want to be helped.
Yes.
That's a whole nother podcast again.
Whole nother podcast, right?
On that. But some people don't. want to be.
True,
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
They're just happy being in their discomfort.
They are not, they might take them years, they are not ready. So don't use your whole energy on that. I have been there.
Yeah.
And you probably can relate to that too. But
yeah, there's a saying you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
that's right. You can, that's right. So sometimes we need to recognize that, and sometimes we painfully will finally recognize that. So
True.
yeah.
Wow.
So what are some of the encouraging words you want to give our audience today? I mean, you've said so many things that are so encouraging, but I always ask this to all my guests to kind of give a summary like that. Just put that in a bowl, and a cute bowl, and tell us. Yes.
All right. So let's see if I can keep this simple. Firstly, I know a lot of us out there, we tend to go through things and we think that life is just happening to us, things not going our way. And we find ourselves asking why, wondering why us. Well, my challenge to you is to start asking instead of why you, ask why not you. Because when you look at it, if we don't go through some of the challenges we face, some of the struggles, some of the things that really require us to stretch ourselves, then we don't have good stories to tell. We can't share anything to help anyone else if we don't go through it ourselves.
Yeah.
So, this is what I want to encourage you to do. Take a look at some of your own life challenges. I'm talking about your own personal experiences, your stories, whatever that is for you, regardless of what area of your life it has impacted. And I want you to look at that now that you are on the other side and look at the lessons you learned from those experiences. How have you grown from that experience? And I am challenging you to find someone to share that with. It can be anyone. It doesn't even have to be someone you know. It can be someone on social media. Find someone to share your story, your life experiences, even your knowledge with, just to help others along in their journey. And I promise you, you are going to start impacting other people's lives. I know it sounds simple, and it is if it is you are coming from a place of love. It is simple, and it's even going to get more simpler as you continue doing it. But if you are like me and you are there wondering, what can I do? How can I serve? You want to do more with your life. You don't just want to exist. And that was a big thing for me. I didn't just want to exist in the world. And I am telling you, you don't have to either. Just start sharing what you know. Start finding ways that you can impact other people's life. Just extend a helping hand. And whatever that is, whatever area of it comes from, I guarantee you there is at least one person out there that needs help in that area. You can be the person to help them. So start, instead of, as Dr. Cheryl would say, instead of sitting on your story, standing in your story, stand on your story. Take ownership of everything you have been through and share it to empower others. And I promise you, you will not regret it.
Wow. That is so powerful. So yes, this is Susan giving you these words, and she telling you this is that you do not have to have a podcast to do this.
No, you don't.
Because this is something I don't know if I've told some people, they will say, oh, well, I can't, I'm an introvert, I can't talk, or I don't have, you can do that.
Me too.
Yes.
I'm an introvert too.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm an extrovert. That's why I tell the introverts that they don't have to be an extrovert to share your story. You don't have to have a podcast. There's so many ways you can do this. And I think you have touched on them of how you can do that. So
Yeah. But what you just said there, Gaby, you know I'm an introvert, right?
well, now you said it, now I know.
I am.
Yeah.
Seriously, I would be the most quietest person in the room until it's my time to talk. And that's just me. Unless I have something to say, I am okay. I'm in my notes journaling, I'm reading. I don't need to be the center of attention. But when it comes to doing what I love, that's a whole different story. I'm a
Yeah.
completely different person. but generally, I'm an introvert.
Mm-hmm. So yes. So that's why, that this thing she has said
Good.
that you can do, you don't, because this is what I've heard some people like, oh, I don't know how to talk. I just want to be myself. I don't want to, be the center of attention. But, some of these things you are gonna be helping somebody and it's gonna help you too. Because when you
Yeah.
reach out to help somebody, you are also helping yourself. And you don't even have to be because I think one thing too people mix is that or misinterpret or maybe that's not the right word to use, but that I have to be happy, content, have everything before I can help somebody. You don't have to. Like me personally, some days when I'm really feeling so bad, that is when I actually will post a motivational quote. I'll post something to encourage somebody because this is speaking to me too. And I feel like, okay, if I'm
Yeah.
feeling this way, somebody might be feeling this way too. And I will,
Yeah.
and it's not, and then somehow I feel happy. So,
Yeah, and that's how I got started. With these simple quotes.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. Because like you, I would share something for myself to make me feel better.
mm-hmm,
But in doing, because you're putting it out there, you're also sharing it for others.
yes,
And they appreciated it so much.
yes. So you can give, you don't have to have everything. And when I say give, it's not only financially, there are many ways you give.
Yeah.
It can be finance, it can be, your own story, your own challenges, your own sharing what you have done to overcome those challenges, all that stuff. And you can use it to impact the world.
And can I add to that?
Yes.
Not only can you share to create an impact, but you can also share to create a pretty good income.
Yes.
But but the income you generate is as a result of the impact you create.
Yes, that is correct.
The bigger the impact you make, the bigger the income you make.
Yes.
So focus on creating the impact.
Yes. That is so good.
It always comes. It has to come. It's a
Yeah.
law. It has to come.
Yes, that is so amazing. Love it. So, how can people connect with this lovely Susan? Where can we connect with you?
Well, I am going to give you one place, which is the easiest place to find me on Instagram, and my handle is the woman to woman coach. On
Okay.
Instagram at the woman to woman coach, and you would see my name pop up, Suzanne Peters. Yeah, follow me there. As long as you connect with me there, you are going to find out first and foremost everything I have going on, everything coming up. You would be able to find my Facebook page, you would be able to find my website, everything just by connecting with me on Instagram.
Instagram. That's great. Okay, good. Yeah. So yes, I will be putting all this on the description area. So if you are watching it on Instagram, I mean on uh all the podcast platform, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, everything here will be in the description area. And so awesome. So glad you have come here to share your wisdom with us today. Um yeah. So
But this wonder
yeah,
is
go.
totally my pleasure. This is fun.
Yes, yes. I love it. Yeah, so this comes to the end of the show today, and I will end it with one of my favorite quotes, and this is from Maya Angelou. She says, when you know better, you do better. All right, people. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.